In this video, we're going to be having a look at a couple of robot vacuums from Trifo. Make sure you stick around, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button below and keep an eye out for more videos. Hi, I'm Will from Surridge Tech, and today we're going to be having a look at these. These are two of the robot vacuum cleaners by Trifo. We've got the Lucy and the Emma Pet. I'm going to unbox them, set them up, and let you know what I think. So let's get going. Now before I start, I should say that these were given to me for free by Trifo in exchange for an honest review, but all my thoughts are my own. Right, so initial opinion of this vacuum. It looks very nice. It's got a nice lid, and you've got reasonably large dustbin there with a nice HEPA filter. Looks like you're never going to get stuff stuck in there, and it's a good size, so that's happy days. You've got your main buttons, you've got your obvious sensor and bumper on the front and another one on the back, and it's got some drop sensors as well so it doesn't fall off a cliff. Single side brush, that's fine. And then we've got this funny interchangeable situation here. So you've either got your standard roller as you would expect, or you can take the roller out and replace it with this very odd, I mean they're calling it a pet hair extractor, but it's basically non-rollered. It's a bit more, I suppose, like a Henry Hoover, where it's just a rubber line and it just sucks. So no roller, just suck. Which I suppose makes sense, because that's what other Hoovers do. As for the mop pad, it is the world's smallest water tank, and it sticks on with Velcro. Okay, and while that's charging, let's have a look at its counterpart. The Lucy. So, initial thoughts. Same mop pad thing as the Emma, but different base and charger. Same style, just got the nice shiny finish with the gold effect to match the design. As for the vacuum itself, again, nothing on the top, so I'm really curious to see what that's like. We've got our buttons are on the inside, so you can kind of press them through the lid or see them on the inside. USB charging port, God knows what that's for. Same nice big bin. On the front we've got the camera, and on the bottom we've got the same situation again. There's a funny hole there, so I'm not sure what that's about. And this one, because it's not the pet model, didn't come with the funny sucky pad thing. So, as for features, they are both robot vacuums. They both have some cool functions, such as charge and resume, where it charges and then resumes cleaning. Echo support, a 600ml bin, which is big. They can both support scheduling and manual control of the vacuum. And then they differ, I suppose. The Emma Pet is $299. The Lucy is $699. And the Emma Pet comes with very basic navigation. It's smart in that it will go up and down in lines, generally speaking. But it has no way of mapping or anything like that, so there's no mapping function, which does render it quite useless at times. The Lucy, however, has camera AI mapping, so it looks and uses a proper camera to see the layout of your space, and it can also use that to distinguish obstacles to avoid. Emma Pet has slightly more suction because it is the pet version. You can get a Lucy Pet. So they have 4,000 pascals, whereas the standard versions only have 3,000, both of which I think are fine for most applications. They both have very basic mopping, a very small mop pad and thing where you just drag around a wet pad and it doesn't really do a huge amount, but what can you do? And the Lucy also has other advanced functions such as a live video, so you can click on the camera and see what the vacuum sees. And as part of that, you can get motion detection notifications from it. And it also has advanced mapping capabilities, as comes with the camera version of navigation. So it lets you split off rooms and add no-go zones to your maps. So, what are my thoughts on these? Well, I'm going to start off with the Emma. The Emma is good as a vacuum, but bad as a robot. And by that I mean, if it's in a room that's messy, it'll suck all the dirt up and be absolutely fine, but it can't navigate to save its life. I plugged it in, opened all the doors to my flat, pressed clean, and it found the one room that it was in and got halfway down the hallway and then was like, I'm done. So that was absolutely useless. And that has been the case a number of times. I have failed to successfully manage to get it to hoover my flat or some other people's flats that I've taken it to. So that is poor form. The Lucy, however, has better mapping. It's still not great, I wouldn't say, and that is me comparing it to my Ultenic T10, which I've reviewed before. So it's good mapping, but it's not great. There have been a few times where it has managed most of the flat, but then still given up just before the end, which is, again, a real shame and a bit confusing because it's clearly got somewhere to go, so why doesn't it just go there? The AI detection isn't bad. I've had it detect shoes and cables on the floor before, but it doesn't detect everything, and it was prone to moving obstacles around. So the whole dog poo test that I know people like to do, it would have failed. That being said, if your dog is pooing in the house, then you need to train your dog. So I'm not sure that's actually a problem for most people. So mopping on both is very poor, as per usual for vacuums, I suppose. They're prioritizing their vacuum function and the mopping is kind of a nice to have, but actually it's not. It's fairly useless. If you can't designate no-go zones for mopping and you can't actually get it to go into the room you want it to mop, then mopping is useless. Mapping is bad for both vacuums. Thankfully, it's better on the Lucy, but on the Emma, it is completely unusable. So, would I recommend these vacuums? And the answer is probably not. I think the Lucy might be suitable for like an upstairs vacuum if there was less footfall and fewer rooms and places to navigate. So that's where I'm going to save it for. But in reality, it's not great and it's not particularly reliable at that. I know they're currently crowdfunding for an Ollie vacuum, which will sit between the Lucy and the Emma, so a medium price range, and that has more advanced pet functions as well, including an air freshener. So I'm curious to see how well that performs and whether actually the introduction of the Ollie actually improves the mapping capability on the Lucy and the Ollie, because obviously AI needs more data. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether the mapping capability improves over time, because as it stands, it's not good. So there we go, some Trifo robot vacuums, the Lucy and the Emma Pet, unboxed and reviewed for you. Make sure you click that subscribe button below and hit the bell icon to find out more about my smart tech and how you can build yourself the ultimate smart home.